You might have noticed that a lot of our products, just like these brand new L009s, have an RJ45 console port. Even if you completely mess up your configuration and the router is rendered inaccessible, you could probably still use the console port to log in and fix it. So today we'll explore how these console ports work and how you can make use of them. A typical way to make use of your console port would be through a patch cable. Simply plug one end into the console port and the other end into an adapter, either an RS-232 adapter or a USB serial adapter, which allows you to connect directly to your computer. Now, if you have two routers with RJ45 console ports, you can actually use them to access one another. However, if you were to plug in the patch cable, you'd find that it doesn't work. This is because Ethernet cables use a very peculiar pinout, the 568A and 568B standards. Historically, you'd have the A variant at one end and the B variant at the other end. That was called a crossover cable, and it essentially swaps the transmit and receive pins places. Nowadays, devices are smart enough to be able to simply swap the TX-RX functionality of their pins as needed. So most patch cables will have the A variant or the B variant at both ends, and the cables are known as straight through cables because all the wires just run straight through. So what about the serial cable? Well, the pinout is known as rollover, and all it means is that the 8 pins at one end are an exact mirror image of the 8 pins at the other end. And we can actually make one ourselves if we have an Ethernet cable, a crimper tool, and RJ45 connectors. Now, RouterOS can actually get away with just 3 of the 8 pins, but we're going to use all 8 pins so that it's a proper rollover cable that can be used for other console ports as well. So first we need to remove the outer casing without cutting any of the small wires, which unfortunately I keep doing all the time. And then we want to cut the middle core that we no longer need. It's designed to hold the wires in a specific order throughout the cable to minimize interference. Then straighten out the little wires, and we're gonna stick to standards and order them in 568B pinout. Make sure that the wires have not changed order as you place them in RJ45, and then crimp it. At the other end, we want to do the exact same things, but this time we are ordering the little wires in an exact mirror image to the first end. Crimp it, and we got our brand new serial cable ready. We can plug it in to our L009s. I've powered down my routers, and now I'm gonna access the router with no wireless through Ethernet, and then access the other router through the serial cable. Log on to your router through Winbox, and then you want to go to System, Console. And now here you will need to disable the serial console if you want to use this particular router to access other routers. Then we can use the system serial terminal to access the other router. And the port that we need to use is obviously the serial 0. If we press enter, we are prompted for a login. And now let's check what kind of router is this. And as you can see, we have logged into our L009 wireless version through our console port. No other ports are used. It was as simple as that. If you enjoyed this type of content, make sure to like this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you for watching.